Okay, before I get started, I think there's someone else who also needs to be thanked, and that is Bill Richardson. He's the one who puts these Pints and Politics together. So every month, he has made contact with the restaurant owner, set it up for the speakers, does things as in getting a screen for me. And so I would like to ask you to have a round of applause for Bill. Frankly, without him sweating the details, it would be a lot worse for those of us trying to speak. Fixing our federal fiscal fiasco. You'll notice that is sort of easily abbreviated as FFFF or 4F. Those of you who are of a certain age, like I am, remember that was a draft designation. It indicated that someone was not qualified for government service. So it's sort of appropriate when we're talking about our current fiscal mess that it's created by people who are not qualified for federal service. Our first step in any kind of problem solving is acknowledging, yes, we have a problem. Always remember the poster for the movie Apollo 13, which is a small spacecraft. Big moon, there's a little thought bubble coming out of it. Houston, we have a problem. It doesn't matter whether you're dealing with a math problem, whether you're dealing with a relationship problem, whether you're dealing with a religious problem, you have to acknowledge that you have it. And we've actually got three. We have the problem of the deficit, which is our immediate spending this year. The debt, that's our spending. If you will, that's the history of our deficits. And we have an unfunded liability. Now this day, we've been hearing up to now a lot of speaking about the deficit and some speaking about our overall debt. But I also want to bring in, we have a third problem of finances, which is the unfunded liabilities. I'll talk a little bit about that at the end and why that requires also we have to attend to. Okay, so how big is our problem? So I'll apologize here, we're going to have a few numbers. If you have a number and 3 zeros after it, you have a number in the thousands. If it's got 6 zeros after it, that's the millions. If it's got 9 zeros after it, billions. It's got 12 zeros. This is trillions. Now, as a mathematician, I know what comes after trillions. But as a conservative, I don't want to tell Washington. So we will deal with trillions tonight, and we will not worry yet about well, what's a trillion to you and me? Well, the gross domestic product of the United States, that's the value of 1 year's worth of goods and services. So that's buck and honey's receipts, the waitress's tips, your salaries, the value of the stock market, government spending, is roughly $15 trillion. So as we just saw, that should be a number with 12 zeros after it. The U.S. population is roughly 300 million. So that's a number where we put 8 zeros after it. If we divide the gross domestic product, 15 trillion, by the U.S. population, this is one place where you get to do the easy math. You just simply cross off 1 zero at the top and 1 zero at the bottom. So you make 8 zeros go away from the top and 8 zeros go away from the bottom. We're left with 15 and 4 zeros in the numerator and 3 in the denominator. Doing that division, that means for each one of us, 15 trillion is $50,000. So that's essentially, on average, every American produces $50,000 worth of goods and services every year. Okay. Now this is small because it's trying to pack in a lot. I apologize for that, but that's also why you have a handout on your table. This is actually the back side of the handout. If you should feel like doing too much with numbers, you can just turn it to the front side and do the Sudoku instead. Long ago, I had a boss who said that if you can't be educational, at least be entertaining. So you get the education or the entertainment. This slide I have is the top of this handout. It's the federal income and borrowing for fiscal year 2011.